Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Moving Markets Podcast. It is Friday, August the 14th, 2026. We're still about 5 seconds away from the stock market officially opening this morning. The open looks like it's going to be mixed with there's the opening bell, with the Dow Jones Industrial Average being down, but the NASDAQ and the S&P both being up a little bit. And then here we're officially open, and even the Dow is up a little bit, but we're in the first few seconds of trading. We'll see what happens. Pretty much everything that I have open spread trades on is up this morning. Google, Nvidia, Palantir. I'm still in a few contracts of the SpaceX trade. I see all of those pointing to the upside, at least for the start this morning, so that's good. But the Dow is down about 100 points. The NASDAQ up about 42, S&P up 277. S&P finished at a new all-time record yesterday. That's, I don't know how many times this year now that it's finished at all-time highs, record highs, but it's definitely on a tear. Oil was down a little tiny bit pre-market. It looks like it's up a little bit now, 14 cents compared to some of the moves we've gotten on some days on oil. 14, 18 cents now. Hardly seems like a blip on the radar. It'd be great if it was down instead of up, and it was down a few points. A few pennies, I should say, just a little while ago. But the status quo is kind of what's happening in the Middle East right now. There's not a lot of other financial related news that is really driving things this morning. I think you've got none of these indexes from a percentage standpoint are moving a lot. The Dow down almost 1/4%. Not a great big huge deal. The S&P, the move on that is less than 1/10%. The NASDAQ, barely 0.2%. None of that is earth-shattering big news. But the NASDAQ looks to me like it could gain some momentum. I'm saying that because I'm seeing Google, Nvidia, Palantir, SMCI, SpaceX. I'm seeing all of these up between 0.5% to 1% or more. And that's the type of momentum that could build and accelerate and get going through the day. So we'll see what happens. We'll see if it continues on, and if a little more momentum builds in the NASDAQ. Even the Dow has come back a little bit. The biggest topic of conversation for me this morning on the podcast is three collar trade adjustments that I sent out this morning. I sent out an adjustment for Netflix. We rolled our short calls and our long puts. I shaded that one the wrong color. We rolled our short calls and our long puts, got that moved out. I'm a little bit negative on Netflix right now because we lost quickly on the long puts as Netflix accelerated up yesterday. We were profitable in those long puts just a few days ago, gave up a lot of value in them in a really short period of time. But with the short calls, the new short calls still out at 90. Netflix, it's down a fraction, and we don't have a lot of shares of it. So I'm not too worried about Netflix. Not worried at all about them getting back into profitable territory really quickly. I also sent an adjustment for Intel. We're profitable right now on Intel, but I got to tell you, Intel was one of those weird. I've only had this happen one other time that I can think of. Kind of a weird situation with Intel where right after we got in, it skyrocketed so high so fast that we got in, down here, and then all of a sudden it seems like almost in a blink, in such a short period of time, it's up in this 120, got up as high as 140 and a little bit more than that. The fact that we're profitable in it is good. One of those rare instances where we're not nearly as profitable as we would have been had we just bought the stock and let it ride. We had to sell 100 shares to close some short calls. We've now only got a couple hundred shares of it. The recent pullback I like. This pullback I like. It allowed us to reposition and get in a better spot. I think Intel could make a run back up to 140, so I'm probably going to do another adjustment to Intel very soon. I needed to get this adjustment made because we had puts expiring today, and I wanted to get those taken care of before we lost any more value in them. So I sent that out this morning. Also, Palantir. Palantir, we sold 100 shares right at the open this morning so that we could close our short call contracts, roll them to something much more attractive out of the money, and then add new long puts. And then Palantir is actually a few pennies negative right now, which not a big deal. I'm not stressed about that at all. Palantir, looking at this chart on Palantir, um, I added in this morning just before I started this presentation the 50 and the 50 and the 200-day moving average. They're in the green and yellow line right here. These are on the verge of crossing over. I think there's a little bit of resistance that we're feeling right here at this, close to this 180 mark. I really have a strong feeling that if this 50 and 20-day moving average cross over to the bullish side, that's where you're going to see Palantir takes that next leg up and start a pretty serious run, I think, back up towards $200 a share. So we'll be watching that close. We've got our longer term trade on Palantir right now. The January 180 long calls, the October 190 short calls. I think there's a good chance that I will do not in place of that trade. I think that's going to be a great trade and be very profitable for us. But I might add some additional short-term trades on Palantir if we get that break over on those technical indicators. I think that'll be a really good one to be into. And then yeah, so Netflix, Intel, and Palantir. I will continue to adjust collar trades. We're due for an adjustment on Applied Digital, on CoreWeave, especially because of their strong move up post earnings. Nvidia, I think I'm just going to allow these puts to expire at the end of the day today on Nvidia. I'm not going to try and roll them today. Those are short puts that can just expire. And then we will do some repositioning for Nvidia as we go into the earnings 2 weeks from now, little less than 2 weeks from now. And then Snap, Uber, we'll get those adjusted as well. I might do some more of those adjustments today. I might do some of those at the very beginning of next week. On a sort of a non-trading issue that I want to address really quick. I went to log into the main website this morning and found these ads all over the place. This is a ad right here. You've got a little ad thing up here. This is before I've even logged in. You've got this little ad thing right here, this little ad thing right here, this little ad thing right down here. I'm not getting these on Firefox. I'm only getting them on Chrome. If you are getting the same thing, I just want to let you know, I did not authorize these ads. I am not putting ads on the website. I don't want ads on the website. I was doing a little bit of searching early this morning, like before 6 o'clock my time, when I discovered this, and I'm trying to figure out how to get rid of it. I hope it's not bothering you. I hope you're not getting it on your end. I think it's some weird setting in Chrome that's bugging it. But if you are getting these ads, I apologize. I'm working on it. I'm working on getting rid of them. I don't like them there. I don't want them there. So just be aware of that. I just wanted to let you know that if you're seeing those, it's not being done intentionally. It's something that's been allowed into the site. So I'll work on fixing that today. All right. I don't have a lot more than that today. I'll continue to work on adjustments on the collar trades, the open spread trades we have on. Like I said, I like where they're at. Google's having a nice move up today. It's not a huge move. They were up about $3.50, still up about 275. I'm confident we're going to get back to where we want Google to be for those that are still in that trade. Um, if by Monday we're not like technically crossed back above right here and on that move up towards 360, we may roll the trade out a week or maybe 2 weeks. I'm not opposed to doing that if we need to. But I think we could be so quickly back up to and above 360 that we're going to be fine on this trade. Hopefully, Google will gain a little bit of momentum today and have a second up day in a row with a little more gusto, a little more oomph to it. So that's what I'm hoping for. All right, I'm going to wrap up right there. Have a great rest of your Friday. Have a great weekend. Jeff, I am still working on getting updates on this on the spreadsheets. I've got all the collar trade ones up to date now. I'm getting to the main SOS spreads and the triple play trades. I'll try and have all that done this weekend. All right. Thanks everybody. Have a great weekend. Bye bye.